Hey guys, I'm back. Where have you been? What? It's been almost 6 weeks since you've last uploaded. Wait, I didn't upload that Elden Ring video? What Elden Ring video? Well, crap. Hey howdy hey folks, I'm back finally with another video. I'm really sorry for not uploading recently, I've been really busy with a few things. Oh yeah, spoiler warning. This video will contain spoilers for Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 of Silksong. I know it's been over a month, but I gotta make a disclaimer anyways for my friends. I'm looking out for you, Soup. I'm going to do a cool thing, I'm going to split this video into different sections so I don't just ramble on. Silksong is incredibly addictive to play. I really enjoyed my time with the original Hollow Knight, but in some ways it was just missing something. I can't quite put my finger. Oh wait, it's the run. Yeah, running in this game is just incredibly smooth. It's really fun to find a jump, step back, and wind up to make a leap. I don't know why I really like that. I'm probably alone in saying that, but I love running in this game. Hornet's moveset is also just a lot more fun than that of the knights from the original. In the original, you had the Mothwing Cloak, the Monarch Wings, the Mantis Claws, the Vengeful Spirit, which you could use to get across certain gaps, which I could never. I guess you also have Pogoing, which is incredibly fun. I mean, just look at my epic Path of Pain footage. But in Silksong, you have Dash, the Fade Down Cloak / Drifting Cloak, the Claw Line, the Cling Grip, the Pogo, and even Healing, which you can also use to get across certain gaps, but I could never. I struggled with the second Lace boss fight. Do you think I could jump a gap with Healing? I couldn't. Combat in this game feels smooth and swift. I know it was intentional to make combat more fast-paced to match Hornet's style, but dang, it feels good. Swift, responsive, and brutally difficult. Yeah, this game does not mess around, especially by Act 2. Oh, you thought Morrowind was difficult, that's cute. Well, why don't you give the freaking High Hull's Gauntlet a try? It's not even a boss fight. Speaking of Gauntlet, this game has many gauntlets. Many. It helps if you look at them as checkpoints or maybe even levels, but it becomes absurd, especially in Act 3 where every enemy deals 2 massive damage. In some instances they're not too bad, but what really frustrates me about some of these gauntlets isn't the run back, it isn't the length of them, like the High Hull's Gauntlet. It's that some of these gauntlets precede boss fights. There's just something really annoying about that. One of the worst offenders of this is Crust King Khan, which I don't have any footage for, so enjoy Silksong Path of Pain. This was so much easier than the original. This fight is preceded by like 5 different gauntlets, and there's a tiny bit of a checkpoint, but you need to go through like one gauntlet even after you unlock it if you die to Khan. Khan himself is a good boss fight, but the run back is what drives me insane. But if we're talking about boss run backs, you cannot talk about that without talking about Gruul the Great. I also don't have footage for that one, so enjoy even more Path of Pain footage. He's preceded by a gauntlet filled with the worst enemies in the game, with the worst water in the game, like seriously 0 out of 10 water. Would not recommend. Scarsinger Carmelita is another offender to this, but I've never started the fight with a single mask of damage. I've also never beaten this fight as of writing the script and recording it. Still haven't done it. At that point I grabbed all the hearts I needed, so I just kinda skipped it. I found that my favorite boss encounters were the ones that didn't have a gauntlet preceding them, like Trobio, Cogwork Dancers, every iteration of Lace, the 4th Chorus, Widow, First Sinner, and even more. I mean, this game just nails it in the boss department. I have a habit of claiming bosses are good, then listing bosses without explaining why they're good. So instead of doing that, I'll just go boss by boss explaining why I like them. Trobio is like the closest thing we have in this game to Grim, aesthetically at least, but it's not even that close. He's a butterfly thing, at least he's not a moth, that performs as a bit of a sacrifice to restore Farloom. Mechanically, he's not at all difficult, but the vibes hit just right. With the music and everything, the flashiness of the attacks, the fireworks, and Trobio himself. It's fun to evade all of his attacks, and I believe he's a really fair fight overall. 9 out of 10. Now this is more like Grim aesthetically. Trobio is now emo, and he's come back with a vengeance. This fight is much more of a spectacle than the previous fight because the fireworks are much flashier. It's pretty much the same as the earlier Trobio fight, but its difficulty increases because the balls now fire in 4 directions instead of 2. And whenever Trobio does that Trobio thing where he rises in the air and fireworks everywhere, it does like a crosshair. It's really cool. 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10 easily. This fight starts out slow, so does the music, then it gets a little faster along with the music, and then they go out of sync and the music just gets faster, and it's just so amazing. It's probably the least complex fight in all of Silksong, as there's really just one attack with the occasional toss-up, but then the final phase kicks in. And one dancer dances all alone, slowly, lamenting the loss of his comrade, and it's just beautiful. I cannot go into more detail about why I like this boss, just because I'm not good at it. This is an Act 1 fight that I neglected to talk about last video, but the 4th chorus fight is a really beautiful spectacle. But in my opinion, that's what I think it really is, just a spectacle. It's not that difficult as each attack is very clearly telegraphed, but it's a fun fight with the music in the background. It's cool to look at. It's a decently fun fight, good music, but not much besides that. I mentioned Widow in the previous video, but she really is among my favorite fights in the entire game. I struggled a lot with this fight when I first encountered her, but in hindsight it's a very fair and fun What am I even saying? Fun, fast-paced fight. Why did I write it like that? Phase 2 can be a whole lot, but it's still really fun. Plus, Widow's music is my absolute favorite song in the entire soundtrack. Hey look, it's Widow's song. First Sinner is the second non-essential fight I mentioned today, but it's the first non-essential fight that I'd highly recommend to the point where it's essentially essential. It's fast-paced like Widow, and it's completely fair with well-telegraphed attacks that can be countered swiftly. My only complaint is that in the first phase, before the first stagger, the First Sinner teleports way too frequently before you can get a single hit on her. But for some reason, that problem goes away completely once you stagger her once. 10 out of 10 fight. Now you all know I cannot talk about bosses without mentioning Seth. As pretty much all of you know, Seth was created by Seth Goldman, a Hollow Knight fan that was battling cancer during the development of Silksong. He reached out to Team Cherry and they allowed him to create a character that would go into the game. And thus Shrine Guardian Seth was created. 10 out of 10 story. Now taking a step away from his backstory, Seth is an incredibly fun fight. I saw footage of it, especially the run back, and I was terrified to fight him, mostly because of his shield. I don't know why, but When I got to him, I found that it was an incredibly manageable fight. It was very swift, and the shield wasn't utilized for defense too much, and so it wasn't that frustrating. All in all, it was a really fun fight to fight, and the music is just oh so beautiful. 10 out of 10. It took me a long time to get here, so I'm gonna talk about her. When the game first came out, I looked at the achievements right away and saw there was a hidden achievement where you defeated a boss known as Lost Lace. I knew right away that this was the true ending of the game, and I knew it'd be hard. After fighting Lace the second time and absolutely getting pummeled at every single attempt, like I have 2 hours of footage that I had to delete. It is embarrassing. I wasn't looking forward to this true final boss at all. But finally, after much turmoil, I got there. And man, what a fight. Each attack felt fair and easy enough to dodge if I was paying close enough attention. I got pummeled on my first few attempts, but on my 5th, something just clicked, and I blazed through the entire boss. It felt so satisfying. The music was phenomenal, and it was just the perfect challenge I was looking for. Fair, fast-paced, challenging, amazing music. I think you saw a theme with these fights. I'm really bad at explaining why I think music is good since I'm not a music major. I'm a communication disorder major. I don't do music, but I can at least give it a try. The music in this game is a mixture of calm and relaxing. Thought-provoking ambiance. High stakes and quick combat. And beautiful, serene locales. Christopher Larkin more than proved his capabilities in the original Hollow Knight, but he perfected the art here in Silksong. Like I said, Widow's Song is my personal favorite of all the songs, but that doesn't mean it's the only good one. Far from it. Let's take a look at Verdania for a moment. Verdania is a location lost to time and myth, reflected in the fact that you can only access it through a memory. The music reflects the fall of Verdania by having the air of longing underneath all the music. It's beautiful and heartbreaking all at the same time. Another song is Biowater, that absolute hellhole. Biowater is a land afflicted by the pollution from the Citadel, and the music reflects not what Biowater currently is, but remembering what it once was. Clean, beautiful, full of life. It's a really sad song to listen to. Songclave, my personal favorite town song, is a song of hope amidst sheer adversity. It's not quite at the heart of the Citadel, but it's very far in. Surrounded by much danger, this song captures the hope that still resides in Farloom. I could go on, but again, I'm not really good at talking about music in general, so I'm gonna move on. Silksong is a long game. It took me 30 hours to finally beat Lost Lace. Not that the boss took me 30 hours, but it took me 30 hours to get there and beat her. I got the funny number in percentage completion. Not the funny number, but the good funny number. There's so much I haven't done yet, and so much I won't do for a while, like merely attempting Steel Soul. 100%ing this game feels a bit more demanding than in Hollow Knight, since rosaries are apparently as rare as you finding a girlfriend. Sorry, that was mean. You can do it. I believe in you. But there's just so much to this game. You thought it was jam-packed with content after you beat Grandmother Silk for the first time? Oh man. Just wait until you unlock Act 3, only to realize you've just scratched the surface. There's so much to unpack, and it's starting to become clear why Team Cherry took 7 years to make this game. I mean, this is phenomenal. But if I'm to be honest, I really struggled in Act 3. Each gauntlet was now filled with enemies that dealt double damage, and it felt extremely unfair for this to come out of essentially nowhere. I'd be more fine if the gauntlets were just a tad shorter, but nope. What makes it especially frustrating is that void enemies take much more damage to kill, so it's like your nail goes back to base damage. But here's how I got out of that dip. I explored. I experimented. I did many different things. I didn't go after the main objectives for a while, and I treated it as if this was an entirely different game. That's what made it enjoyable for me again, and that's why I stuck with it and persevered through thick and thin. And that's what I have to say about this wonderful game. But one more thing, would I recommend it to everyone? No. The reason is simple, this game is brutally difficult. Brutally. Hollow Knight's tutorial was press A to jump, but this game's tutorial is the entirety of Hollow Knight. And press B to bind. For that reason alone, I wouldn't recommend this game to everyone. I'd recommend it to a select few, but that's about it. If you want to experience Silksong, by all means give it a try, but be ready to refund it or uninstall it. I'd recommend some to just watch a playthrough online. As for me, I'd give this game a solid 10 out of 10. Last time I said I didn't see a charm in it, well now I have, and I already talked about it in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I don't say this in my videos, but please consider subscribing and leaving a comment. I'll try to get back to every comment as time goes on. I'll try to upload when I can, but as a starving college student who's doing YouTube part-time, I can't promise a consistent upload schedule. Until next time, comrades, as they say in China, arrivederci.